Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome back to our series, Domo, where we talk about investing in paradise all the way around the globe. And today we have a very special place because Hannah has been there. I'm Stephanie Gillison. Where we're talking about today is very special. I have not been there, but Hannah has definitely, and the research I've done has made me want to go. Hannah, tell us where we're going today.
I know it's one of my favorite countries in the world, one I've spent a lot of time in. We're going to Montenegro today, or as the locals call it, Crna Gora. Montenegro means Black Mountain. It's a nod to its dramatic landscapes and coastal cliffs and alpine peaks. It's a beautiful country, has one of the fastest growing tourism sectors in Europe. It attracts millions of visitors annually, and it is gorgeous.
Well, and I know I asked you because as soon as I saw Black Mountain and coastal cliffs and alpine peaks, I thought, wait, what about the beaches? And you said that the Adriatic coastline is one of, I mean, it's world-class beaches. And you talked about yachts, some of the biggest yachts there.
Yes, Porto Montenegro is one of the world's most famous yacht docks. You would find some very, very nice yachts there.
Oh, that's amazing. And English is widely spoken. So I would enjoy it because obviously, you've said it before. I've said it every week. I'm not good at other languages like you, Hannah, but English is widely spoken. And so in most of the areas, that we're going to be okay. And here's the other thing that I love about this country is that the government is actively promoting foreign real estate investment. And we love that at Aerodomo because when the government is promoting that and they're an advocate for it, it makes us wanting to invest in it much, much easier. So I love that. So this is going to be fun today. I'm excited.
Exactly. So let's jump right in. Why is Montenegro capturing the global investor attention?
Well, it is offering that rare value in Europe with, like you said, it's got the stunning natural beauty and it's investor friendly. This is a place that is growing international interest. Some countries, they've gotten a little bit more strict on how long it takes to invest in. But this country's tourism driven economy ensures strong rental potential in the coastal areas. And it also has a simplified tax system. It's a flat 9% income tax, and it has affordable property prices, creating that appealing combination for both lifestyle buyers and investors. So if you want to buy a place to go there a few months out of the year or a few weeks, or buy for also short-term rental, it is a place to definitely take a look at.
Exactly. So let's talk about the legal framework around that. What is the framework that governs property ownership for foreigners?
Well, foreigners can buy property freely. And that is very, very important because look, in most countries, we have to go through a process. They love it. They want us to come, but there is a process. Here, they can buy freely, including apartments, houses, and land with the exact same rights as locals. So the only restriction applies to ag land, agricultural, or the protected land where there's a special permit required. Taxes and fees. Property transfer tax, it's 3% of the sales price. And then the annual property tax is typically 0.1 to 1% of its market value. So not much at all. There's a notary registration and then modest legal fees, kind of like what we see in Western Europe, but you do get a deed to the property. Everything is registered, so you are protected. Buying real estate can qualify investors also for temporary or permanent residency, if that's something that you're looking at. And that also depends on the investment amount and the duration of your stay. So the currency transactions are conducted in euros, providing price stability and ease of financing. So not in US dollars, but in euros.
Exactly. I know that usually I let you talk about which parts of the country offer best opportunities for
No,
property
you've got to do
investment,
that.
but
You've got to do that.
but I can do it this time, given that the names are much more friendly to me and to the languages I speak. So let's go through them. First one is definitely Budva, which is the tourism capital. It has very vibrant nightlife. I've tested it, so I can attest to that. Beaches, and it has very strong short-term rental market. Kotor, which is a UNESCO World Heritage Site with a mix of historic charm and luxury developments, a beautiful town. And then we have Tivat, which is home to Porto Montenegro, the world-class marina that attracts high net worth buyers and yacht owners. As I've mentioned, it is truly one of the most beautiful places in that part of Europe. Then we have Herceg-Novi, which is a quieter coastal town, and it's known for wellness retreats and long-term rental potential. And then finally, Podgorica, which is the capital and ideal for commercial and residential investors that are seeking a long-term stability. When it comes to Montenegro and its entire geography, it is a very unique country, and we kind of say you get a lot of seasons in one day because you can actually ski in the morning in the mountains, and then you can swim in the Adriatic by noon and enjoy a lakeside sunset in the evening. So we kind of get everything in this country, which is pretty amazing. But so when we talk about that, let's talk about the trends that are currently shaping the actual Montenegrin real estate market.
Well, and thanks for going through all of those places. And, here's something to identify is that each place that you mentioned all has opportunity for housing and for rental income. And so that's what makes it also unique is that it is a thriving country. And so the rapid growth of luxury coastal developments, especially around Tavat and Kotor Bay, like you mentioned, there's also the rising demand for the eco-friendly resorts and boutique villas along the Adriatic coast. And then there's continued expansion of the tourism infrastructure, including airports and marinas. So they're constantly adding to that as well too, because it is in fact growing and increasing with foreign investment in tourism. And from the EU, Middle Eastern and Asian buyers are also seeking affordable European assets. So the gradual alignment with EU standards as Montenegro progresses toward EU membership, it's boosting investor confidence. And so as we've stated before, when you have a government who is easy to work with, they're promoting ownership to anyone that can come in and purchase, but also it is open for tourism and they're friendly, then that's going to continue to grow the market. It's going to boom the economy, and it's always going to be not only a great investment for rental income, but also for real estate appreciation, for sure.
That's right. So just like in any other country, there are some risks or small downsides when it comes to investing in property there. Let's talk about a couple of those. I know they are not major, but something we like to talk about always to keep transparency.
Absolutely. And look, there's going to be limited banking options, but that happens in a lot of different places and in throughout the Caribbean as well. Okay. So financing is going to be slower for non-residents if you need to finance. I would suggest that a cash purchase would be something that you want to seek. Market transparency. Property records are improving, but due diligence is crucial. Again, that's why we have our Domo, that concierge service that we offers. We got to do our due diligence. Tourism-driven markets can also be seen in off-season to be a bit slower in the slowdowns. So, you've got time of years where it does intend to slow down. Some regions outside the coast may lack mature facilities, so you want to stay along the coast. And then the EU accession timeline is still pending, meaning there's certain regulations that may shift or change over time that we just can't ensure at this moment, but they are working toward that EU access.
Exactly. And I mean, it's definitely going to shift regulations to stricter. So I think now is a great time to invest.
Absolutely. Well, and right now you can also maximize because, as things get stricter, things seem to get a little bit more costly as well, right? The more red tape, the more expensive things seem to get. And so, right now, if you focus on the coastal cities, that's where the demand and appreciation are the strongest. but also consider the short-term vacation rental areas, which perform well through April to October. So April to October is that high season here. And then if you invest in off-plan luxury projects near the marinas or resorts, that's going to be amazing for capital growth. But partner with us. Partner with us so that we're familiar with the zoning laws, we're familiar with the title verification, we're making sure that we're protecting you both legally and locally. And don't also forget to explore the luxury and the boutique projects, because that's a growing niche that is aligning with the global sustainability trends as well too. But Hannah, when do you think you'll get to go back?
Definitely next summer. I mean, every summer in Montenegro is amazing, and I definitely think whoever has not gone yet, I highly recommend it. Montenegrins are famous for their hospitality culture, and you were just guaranteed to have a good time.
Talk to me about the airport when you fly in and go. Talk to me a
Mhm.
little bit about that.
It's very simple. When you fly into the airports are very, very close. So there's an airport in Tivat actually, which is the closest to Porto Montenegro, and it's about a 20-minute drive. You're right there.
So it's very simple, easy to travel. You don't land and have to go through the mountains for hours and hours at a time.
No, absolutely not. They made it very easy for people vacationing there internationally to come in.
That's awesome. And see, that's something important too, because especially when you're looking, tourists, we want to get there and we want to land and we want to get into our place. And so that is a great to know, because not all countries are set up like that. And if it takes hours upon hours to get to a place, then it's not going to be so great for that short-term rental income, that's for certain. So well, this is amazing. I can't wait to explore, because it's definitely going to be on my list these days.
Exactly. Well, I'm excited. Thank you for everyone who joined us today. This was definitely a really, really great country to cover.
Absolutely. And we will tune in next week because we are going to cover Mexico. We know Mexico is a big, broad country and there's so much to talk about, but we're going to cover it as a broad, and then we'll dive into deeper areas of that as time goes by. But make sure to write us and follow us on social, look us up on airdomo.com. But if there's something specific that you want to know about, write us, let us know what that is. We are happy to answer your questions, and we're happy to cover any of the areas that you're curious about as well too. So thank you, and we'll see you next Wednesday. Have a good one.
Bye.